Ladies over here at the camera. Guys, check the camera out real here, right over here. Ladies right here for the camera, big smile.
I definitely don't.
Ladies right over here for the camera, please. Guys right here for the camera, big smile for the camera right over here, right over here. Guys, right over here at the camera. Big smile, perfect. Ladies, right here for the camera, right here for the camera. Ladies, take a look at the camera real quick. Big smile, big smile. Look over here at the camera real quick. Excellent. Everyone right over here, look at the camera, look at the camera. Guys over here, smile for me at the camera. Perfect. Guys over here at the camera for me. Perfect. Right here at the camera. Fellas, right here for me, over the camera. Guys, check the camera out. Hey, big smile, big smile.
Yeah, cool, catch up.
Guys, right here for the camera, right here. Hey, right over here at the camera, big smile, big smile.
Just try their best.
One more time. Very nice.
Yeah, I got that.
Right here, camera. Guys, big smile for the camera over here. Big smile. Perfect. Excellent. Ladies, smile for the camera, please.
For the camera, baby. For that camera.
Guys, right over here.
Yeah, absolutely. I just don't want to
Hey, right here for the camera. Ladies, right here. Big smile for the camera over here. Perfect. Big smile. Excellent. You guys over here for the camera. Big smile. Perfect.
my next number 28.
All the way to the end. You're number 15.
You got my location, but I want you off the map.
Charlie, your big moment. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. See you later.
Yeah.
This should do it.
Amidst the pomp and circumstance, the caps and gowns, the exhaustion and emotion, joy, sadness, and hope of this moment, let's pause in the presence of family and friends, teachers and mentors, and breathe a moment of peace and gratitude. Breathe the fragrance of those last lingering cherry blossoms too soon gone, the fresh cut grass of Pennsylvania spring. Breathe the memory of cafeteria meals, library stacks, chemistry labs, late night conversations, burnt cups of coffee, stress, sweat, study groups, overripe laundry. Breathe the friendships that will long outlast this moment. Breathe and know, class of 2019, that we love you and that we are kicking you out. Not because we are tired of you, not because we have given you all there is to give, but because the world is ready for you, because the world needs you, because it is time. So if this place has been a home for you, we send you out in that embrace, grounded and loved, and trusting that home goes with you. If this place has been for you full of promise, we send you to boundless horizons of possibility, telling stories true and big and wide of what is possible for everyone and anyone. If mistakes made in this place have humbled you, we send you with hard-earned wisdom, gently, full of grace, to forgive and correct and reconcile. If this place has inspired you, we send you inspired to inspire, nourished and accepted and ready. Breathe. With each congratulations offered, each name read, a prayer of fulfillment and possibility. Breathe and know that you are blessed and sent to be a blessing to a world in need. Let us say together, amen. It's my pleasure to welcome Julia Shapiro to the stage for the singing of the national anthem, and I invite you to remain standing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Please be seated. Well, good morning on this glorious day. Welcome to the families and friends of the class of 2019 who have traveled here today to join us in celebrating the newest graduates of Bucknell University. And welcome to the university's faculty and staff. They've supported every step of your journey, and they are here today filled with pride to share in the joy of your accomplishment. We are also pleased to be joined by members of our Board of Trustees who volunteer a great deal of time and energy to help steward our great university. I also want to thank Secretary of State Madeleine Albright for serving as our distinguished keynote speaker. I understand, Madam Secretary, that given demands on your schedule, you can only accept a small fraction of the speaking invitations you receive. In this case, however, the fact that our senior class officers, all women, identified you as the individual from whom they were most interested in hearing today moved you to join us. Let's get it out of our systems right now. Congratulations, class of 2019. Today we confer upon you your diplomas, the universally recognized symbol of academic achievement that signifies 4 years of hard work and dedication. You've met the challenges of college and today emerge as graduates of Bucknell University, joining a community of 50,000 alumni worldwide. 4 years ago, you arrived on campus, most of you fresh out of high school. You didn't know what you didn't know, but you had the talent, the drive, the curiosity, and most of all, the desire to discover your own path to the successful future you imagined for yourself. You asked questions, you took chances, you got to know your professors and they became your mentors. You wrote and researched, you ran experiments and started companies, you painted and sang, you volunteered, and you gave back. You pulled all-nighters, and sometimes you wondered if your professors secretly got together to schedule all your big projects and tests due on the same day. They did. You learned about other cultures and explored new countries. You worked out and hung out. You networked and you interviewed. You pursued internships and discovered what you love, or just as importantly, what you didn't. You learned how to live with people who aren't related to you. You formed enduring friendships, many of which will last your lifetime. These experiences weren't always easy or even comfortable, but growth requires risk. At your class convocation back in August of 2015, I challenged you to take many risks at Bucknell. I dared you to invest in your own education by fully tapping your potential during your precious time on this campus. I dared you to confront intellectual challenges by embracing hard work and not being afraid to risk failure. I dared you to get your hands dirty by seeking out hands-on experiences and engaging in the kinds of difficult conversations that lead to real growth and understanding of one another. I dared you to be part of something bigger than yourself by being active, responsible, and accountable in your community, from this campus to the communities where you live, work, and travel throughout your life. I dared you to be out there in it, to make the most of every moment here and take every opportunity we offer to turn your potential into something truly powerful. Well, you took those dares and you met those challenges. You have earned the diplomas waiting for you here on stage. But let us always remember, none of us succeeds alone. You had the support of your parents, family, and special friends in emails and texts, in visits and FaceTime and late-night calls. Graduates, please rise, turn around, and thank them for their commitment and belief in your ability to dream your dreams. And now I ask that everyone who is able, please rise and join us in thanking the Bucknell faculty and staff, represented by my colleagues to the left and right. Every university employee cares so much about your welfare and success. I can't express adequately the pride we take in your special day. Please remain standing for one more moment. I also want to thank two people who are very special to the university. Bob Malesardi, class of 1945, and his wife, Doris. Three years ago, Bob and Doris pledged $20 million to Bucknell and later increased that to 30, which at the time was the largest gift in our university's history and solely to support financial aid, our top institutional priority. Through their matching gift program, the Malesardi Match, the endowment they established continues to flourish and grow. Bob and Doris, thank you so much for being with us yet again. Please be seated. It's now my honor to introduce our distinguished commencement speaker, Madeleine Albright, the former U.S. Secretary of State. She is the first woman to hold that office and among the highest-ranking women in the history of the United States government. During her service as Secretary from 1997 to 2001, she reinforced U.S. alliances, advocated for democracy and human rights, and promoted American trade, business, labor, and environmental standards abroad. Ms. Albright's international leadership spans decades. From 1993 to 1997, she served as the U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations and was a member of the President's Cabinet. Previously, she served as the President of the Center for National Policy, was a member of President Jimmy Carter's National Security Council and White House staff, and served as Chief Legislative Assistant to Senator Edmund Muskie. In 2009, she was asked to chair a group of experts focusing on developing NATO's new strategic concept. And in 2012, in recognition of her extraordinary service to her country, she was awarded the nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Today, Ms. Albright is a professor of diplomacy at Georgetown University's School of Foreign Service. She also chairs the National Democratic Institute for International Affairs and serves as the president of the Truman Scholarship Foundation. She is a member of the United States Department of Defense Policy Board and the board of the Aspen Institute. Additionally, she is chair of Albright Stonebridge Group, a global strategy firm, and Albright Capital Management, an investment advisory firm. Ms. Albright is a best-selling author whose latest book, Fascism, A Warning, became a #1 New York Times bestseller last spring, the 6th of her books to earn that distinction. In popular media, she is well known for the variety of pins that adorn her outfits, which often convey diplomatic meaning. Like our graduates, Ms. Albright is a student of the liberal arts. She earned her bachelor's degree from Wellesley College and her master's and doctoral degrees from Columbia University. Her life of service exemplifies what one can achieve with the critical thinking skills, creativity, and intellectual curiosity cultivated through a broad education like Bucknell's. We are so honored that she is with us today to address the class of 2019. Please join me in welcoming Madeleine Albright.
Thank you very much. Perhaps you've noticed a discrepancy in size between us. President Bregman, distinguished faculty, families, and friends, Bucknellians, good morning. Let me begin by thanking the senior class for the invitation to be with you on this very exciting day. And I was told that the students wanted to hear from, quote, a strong and impressive woman. Well, if that's true, then you only need to look as far as your all-star class Congress. led by President Laura Bart, Vice President Emily Shapiro, and Treasurer Annie Gertone. I've attended many graduations as a student and a mother and a professor and a commencement speaker, and confess to loving them all. Graduations are unique milestones in our lives. For parents, they're a cause to marvel at how short the interval is between diapers and diplomas. For graduates, they're the payoff for long hours of study and hard work. And for the class of 2019, today is the climax of years spent not only in the classroom at Bertrand Library, but also on the athletic field or performing on stage at Harvey Powers Theater, or writing for the Bucknellian, or serving on student government, or participating in any of the other wonderful student organizations here. I have to say I enjoyed very much the video of trying to answer questions about how many the students did how many different things. I guessed some of them right. Of course, in future years, you will recall this ceremony, and you will understand that the moment you passed through the Christy Mathewson Gates this morning was the moment you first began to forget everything you learned at college. But as the names of dead European kings and the body parts of dissected animals begin to fade, the true value of your days on this beautiful campus will become more and more apparent. For by studying here at Bucknell and by graduating alongside students from 37 states and 27 countries, you have gained a global perspective, and that is true whether you studied philosophy or markets, innovation and design, the art of diplomacy, or the science of engineering. This outward orientation is vital because the class of 2019 will live truly global lives. You will compete in global workplaces, shop in a global marketplace, and travel further and more often than any prior generation. To succeed, you will require the kind of knowledge that extends beyond mere facts to knowledge itself. I know from my own experience that such wisdom can be hard to obtain. I went to school at another great liberal arts institution, Wellesley College, and I like to tell my students that I graduated about halfway between the invention of the iPad and the discovery of fire. At college, I learned much about Renaissance composers and Shakespearean plays and the periodic table, but I also learned much about myself, that I wanted to use the fine education I had received for something more than meaningful than table conversation, that I wanted to test, not simply accept, the limits and boundaries of the life I was preparing to lead, and I wanted to give something back to this country that had given so much to me. I suspect the same is true for you and your experiences here at Bucknell. You arrived here having already lived 21st century lives. Members of this class hail from every continent and have already served as advocates for orphans, studied sustainable development in the Maldives, and won scholarships for promise in social justice. Regardless of where you came from, at Bucknell, you've learned much about what is outside you and much about what is inside you as well. You learned how to put your opinions and your assumptions to the test. And this is important because from this day forward, you will have to rely not on grades or guidance from professors to tell you how you're doing or where you stand. You will have to rely instead on an inner compass. Whether that compass is true will determine whether you become a drifter who is blown about by every breeze, or a doer, an active citizen determined to chart your own course, question your own assumptions, and when necessary, sail unafraid against strong winds. I look at the world today, and I must say that what we need are doers, both here at home and overseas. The world is a mess. That's a diplomatic term of art. We're living in a time that is more unsettled, more complicated, and more in need of a new generation of leaders than any that I can recall. At home, America's great challenge will be to retain a sense of community and common purpose. My guess is that wherever you're from, each of you shares something very basic with me. We were brought up to believe that a true patriot is someone who wants to help his or her country become respected and admired, to be a leader among nations and the champion of values to which people everywhere can subscribe. The kind of country, for example, that is known across the globe as being indivisible and for its dedication to liberty and justice for all. But there's another kind of nationalism, the kind that talks about my country right or wrong, the kind that pays no heed to the well-being of others, the kind that retreats from global responsibility and confuses its own claims of greatness with greatness itself. This is dangerous, because when pride in us descends into fear or hatred of them, the American tapestry unravels and the social fabric is torn. The result has been a surge in racism. The result has been a surge in racism, Islamophobia, and anti-Semitism, attacks against members of the LGBTQ community, the demonization of refugees and immigrants, and the near constant terror of shootings in American classrooms. Sometimes we have to ask, after all the tragedies we have seen and after all the times we have said never again, what will it take for us to realize that however important the differences that distinguish us may be, they are nothing compared to the common humanity that binds us. We are blessed to live in a country whose very identity and purpose are wedded to respect for humanity and all who comprise it. No matter our race or creed, we are all equal shareholders in the American dream. Living up to that principle and valuing fairly the contributions of each other is the great test our nation must pass in the 21st century. Around the world, we will face other tests, the outcome of which is equally uncertain. Today, America remains the world's leading nation, but there are many in Washington and around the country who think of it as an island. They believe that we are unaffected by the events across the far side of the sea. They refuse to accept that America's interests are linked to the security and prosperity of allies and friends. And they do not understand that our global leadership carries with it both tangible benefits and enormous responsibilities. We should be unafraid to exercise leadership in support of peace, in defense of liberty, and to further justice. But we must at the same time realize that we can rarely succeed simply by going it alone. If we want the world to heed our views and to follow our lead, we must at least listen to the concerns of others. We must listen to allies who ask us to engage with our adversaries through diplomacy rather than by beating the drums of war. We must listen to scientists who say global warming is real and a grave threat to our future, and who believe people who believe that conservation is a national security imperative, not a four-letter word. And we must listen to those who argue that globalization should not lead to so many people feeling left behind. I've traveled to almost everywhere, and I've found that there are essentially three categories of countries in the world today. In the first, people work all day and still don't have enough to eat. In the second, families are able to scrape together just enough food to meet their basic needs. And in the third category of countries, diet books are bestsellers. Of course, the same distinctions also to apply to the neighborhoods of Philadelphia and Baltimore, and to the mountains of Appalachia and the American West. Confronted with this hard truth, some people simply shrug their shoulders and say that such inequality is too bad, and there's not anything that anybody can do about it. I say such unfairness is intolerable, and we each have a responsibility to change it. There was a time when we could say that we didn't know enough, or that did not have enough resources, or were too imperiled by other urgent threats. But today, there can be no doubt that if only we so choose, we could produce enough food, build enough shelter, deliver enough medicine, and share enough knowledge to allow people everywhere to live better and more productive lives. Now, I don't mean to place the weight of the world on your shoulders, because that is always going to be your parents' job. But I do hope that each of you will use the knowledge gained here at Bucknell to be more than a consumer of liberty, to be also a defender and an enricher of it, employing your talents to heal, help, and teach. I hope you will chart a new role for America in the world, somewhere between isolationism that shuns global problems and neo-imperialism that leaves us grappling with the hardest problems virtually alone. I hope you will be doers, not hearers only, and that when required, you will indeed dare, as the seal of Bucknell University suggests, to be the light of knowledge and education surmounting the storms of life. Because your choices will make all the difference to you and to all of us. The future depends not on the stars of some mysterious forces of history, but rather on the decisions that you and I and every one of us makes. It is said that all work that is worth doing is done in faith. Today, at this ceremony of cherished memory and shared resolve, I hope we will each embrace the faith that every challenge surmounted by our energy, every problem solved by our wisdom, every soul awakened by our passion, and every barrier to justice brought down by our determination will enable our own lives, inspire others, and explode outward the boundaries of what is achievable on this earth. So to the class of 2019, I say again, congratulations. I say, Ray Bucknell, Ray for the orange and the blue, and thank you again so much for letting me participate in your great celebration. Congratulations, 2019.
Gosh, I don't know why they took the podium away here. Secretary Albright, thank you for those words of wisdom, wisdom born of a life of commitment and a life of service. I don't know of any higher cause than serving the causes you have. Thank you very much, and please again receive our thanks. At this point, I'd like to ask Interim Provost Robert Midkiff to come to the podium. And before he presents several awards, I want to take this moment to thank Robert for serving this year as our Interim Provost. Provost is a very difficult job, and only in title was the word interim operative. He has been our Provost. He's done a tremendous job this year. Please thank him.
I love you too. Thank you, President Brabman. Thank you, colleagues. It's my honor to recognize those colleagues who have been selected by the university to receive Bucknell's Teaching Awards. These honorees have earned high praise from their colleagues, as well as from students and alumni, for their exemplary approaches to teaching and their ability to at once challenge and inspire students throughout the learning process. The Christian R. and Mary F. Lindback Award for Distinguished Teaching goes to Associate Professor of Chemical Engineering, Katsuyuki Wakabayashi. Kat is to my left. Professor Wakabayashi is a dedicated instructor with lofty standards for professionalism and the quality of student work. His students recognize that he is deeply invested in their success and have praised his availability, his enthusiasm, encouragement, and advice. Congratulations, Professor Wakabayashi. The Class of 1956 Lectureship Award for Inspirational Teaching goes to Associate Professor of Anthropology, Michelle Johnson. Professor Johnson, there you go. She's to my right. Professor Johnson has a remarkable ability to make anthropology come to life for students. She is enthusiastic, encourages intellectual exploration, builds community in the classroom, and serves as a role model. We look forward to your lecture in the coming academic year. Congratulations, Professor Johnson. We have two recipients of this year's Presidential Awards for Teaching Excellence, and they represent the finest of teaching within our liberal arts core. The first honoree is Associate Professor of Theater Anjali Deshpande Hutchinson. Now, you're not going to find her here, but we're going to talk about her for a moment, and that's because Professor Hutchinson is currently with Professor Kelly Knox in India doing research and preparing a program for students to study theater and dance in India in the coming year. But Professor Hutchinson seamlessly blends her teaching, her scholarship, and her artistic work in the areas of acting and directing, and she fosters a community of kindness, creativity, and generosity among her students. So let's congratulate her in her absence. Our second recipient of the Presidential Award for Teaching Excellence is Associate Professor of Religious Studies, Brantley Gassaway. Professor Gassaway is to my right. He is described as a versatile instructor with a broad command of historical, legal, and cultural issues surrounding religion. Students cite his energy and enthusiasm, his skill in leading discussions, and his ability to lead a process of reflection that leads to deeper self-understanding. Congratulations, Professor Gassaway. This year's William Pierce Boger Jr. MD Award for Excellence in Teaching in the Natural Sciences goes to Associate Professor of Physics, Ben Vollmeyer Lee. Ben is to my left. Professor Vollmeyer Lee is deeply committed to teaching introductory courses. He is known for his clarity, his passion, his approachability, and his mentorship. And alumni say that his investment in their welfare has shaped their lives long after Bucknell. Congratulations, Professor Vollmeyer Lee. The recipient of this year's Bucknell University Writing Across the Curriculum Award of Excellence is Associate Professor of Management, Janice Traflett. Professor Traflett is to my left. Professor Traflett is committed to helping her students write intentionally and with confidence. For many, she has transformed writing from a chore to an intellectual journey. Congratulations, Professor Traflett. It's also my pleasure to share with you today the names of several members of the university community whom we recognized earlier this spring for their contributions to the campus community. Bucknell's 4th Annual Diversity and Inclusion Awards recognize those who have made significant contributions to the university's efforts to build and nurture an inclusive campus community. Those awards were presented in 5 categories during a ceremony in March. The Faculty Award for Diversity and Inclusion went to Erica Del Sandro, Assistant Professor of Women's and Gender Studies. The student honoree this year is Christy Mandal, a member of the class of 2020 who majors in mechanical engineering. The recipient of the Staff Award for Diversity and Inclusion is Kelsey Hicks, Director of the Women's Resource Center. The Student Organization Award went to the Black Student Union. Congratulations. And the Collaborative Team Award went to Be Eats, a collaboration of students and staff devoted to addressing issues of food insecurity on campus. I'd like to take a moment also to recognize the 2019 recipients of the Burma Bucknell Award. This award is presented in recognition of Bucknell's long-standing connections with the people of Myanmar. It is given to those members of our community who have made outstanding contributions to intercultural and international understanding within the university community. The 2019 award was presented to two students. Effiam Obasi, a member of the class of 2020. Effie is a psychology major and will graduate next year. And to Anushika Sharma, a member of the class of 2019. Anushika graduates today with majors in computer science and engineering and women's and gender studies. Congratulations to both of you. Let me now call your attention to the list of senior prizes and awards that are set forth in your program. Yesterday, the worthy recipients of these awards were celebrated by the university at the President's Senior Awards ceremony. I would ask them to rise now. Award winners, rise. Thank you. Your accomplishments in the classroom, in the laboratory, and in our community have enriched us all, and we are confident of your future success. Thank you. And finally, I'd like to call your attention to the program for those students who are earning degrees with distinction, as well as those students who earn departmental honors. Also noted in your program are students who have been inducted into various honor societies. Let's recognize all of these accomplished graduates with a round of applause. Thank you. I think we should award some degrees.
Candidates for degrees, would you all please rise? President Brodman, I have the honor of certifying to you the candidates who have completed the requirements for the several degrees as prescribed by the faculties of the university. I therefore recommend that the degrees they have earned be now conferred upon them. In addition, certain candidates who expect to complete graduation requirements in the near future are also present for public recognition today.
In accordance with the recommendation of the faculties of the university and by the authority committed to me by the Board of Trustees in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I hereby confer upon each successful candidate the appropriate degree, admitting you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities which throughout the world pertain to that degree, in testimony whereof you will receive the diploma of the university. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Candidates for degrees, will you please be seated?
Mr. President, I have the pleasure of presenting graduates for bachelor's degrees from the College of Arts and Sciences, 565 in number. For the Bachelor of Arts degree, Valentina Maria Acquista. Audra Marie Adams. Colin Murray Adams, in absentia. Jacob E. Adeniran. Charlene Adugo Chisum Agarua. Salvador Alatorre. Anthony James Albanese. M. Jordan Alexander. Joseph Mills Altimus. Andrew Fuller Antonacci. Nathan Tresher Aspinall. Ruhani Kaur Alak. Alexis Maria Almond. Mohammed Iqmal Osman. Brian Michael Babiak. Alec Charles Bear. Carly Addison Baggett. Mariah Berenberg. Elizabeth Martin Balch. Laura Michelle Bart. Charles Joseph Bezralian. Derek John Bastink Jr. Andrew William Bayless. Charles Paul Beers. Lauren Ann Bell. Olivia Rose Benson. Campbell Gray Barrick. Cameron J. Berman. Jake Derek Berman. Michael Jacinto Bernardini. Lisa Ruben Bernstein. Taylor Patricia Bernstein. Kayla Rose Bianco. Kelsey Danielle Birmingham. Brianna Jade Bjordahl. Corinne Elizabeth Bleeker. Christian Michael Blody. Hope Elizabeth Buzan. Olivia Grace Brato. Liza Jane Branch. Rebecca Jordan Braver. Martin Aloysius Brennan IV. Grayson Amissa Bright. Alexis Brito. Anne Marie Sinwa Brook. Elizabeth Blair Brookman. Sophia Llewellyn Brooks. Erica Michelle Brower. Courtney Taylor Brown. Blake Lynn Buckles. John Edelin Buendia. Marin McKenna Burling. Alan Michael Butler. Abigail Whitney Burns. Tiffany M. Kai. Connor Joseph Caroli. Donna Rose Calia. Tyler David Candelora. Natalia Alexandra Carpenter. Christian R. Carrillo. Kathleen Carroll. Joseph Armand Carter. Nathan William Carter. Alec Cartwright. Alexis Marie Champion. Maxine Suzanne Charles. Siwei Chen. Melanie Danielle Cheng. Sarah Ann Cherian. Julia Alana Chinman. Andrew Lawrence Coder. Jenna Marie Cogdignato. Jonathan Alfonso Coleman. Alexis Linda Colon. Griffin Barnett Connor. Tyler Michael Constantine. Megan Catherine Contarino. Nasu Myra Conta. Courtney Haynes Cook. Grace Margaret Cook. Chloe Rose Cotino. Kendall Emily Cowie. John Christopher Cree. Lydia P. Cuddeback. Nicholas Josephs Cumming. Christopher Lawrence Cusack. Madeline Francoise Cush. Carolyn St. John Danforth. Penelope Nicole Michiko Daniel. Diane Christina Da Silva. Rebecca Caroline Davino. Debrion A. Davis Darby. Jomeli De Los Santos. Catherine Quinn Dempsey. Brendan Linehan Diraki. Gray William Duber. Jameson Anna DeWitt. Marshall Del Rio Dixon. Marko Georgievich. Abigail Jean Dolan. Amy Elizabeth Dowden. Jessica Gray Downey. Jared Arthur Dreisen. Theodore Eugene Dumball Jr. Sarah Bradford Doyes. Jubal Anderson Early Jr. Ainsley Sharon Eck. Jordan Gifford Edmonds. Connor Bruce Edwards. Rose Michelle Ehrlich. Jordan Luce El Lerdo. Alyssa Alec. Omar Khaled El Etter. Karaya Ann English. Sarah Marie Epston. St. John James Erskine. Gregory J. Estrella. Benjamin Rush Euler. George Pryor Everett. Matt Fay. Shira Brooke Fetterman. Jack Larkin Feely. Elizabeth Wogan Ferguson. Brian Ferreira de Salva. Vincent Paul Filippini. Benjamin Douglas Finley. Lauren Jane Fishbein. Ariana Regina Fisher. Emily Renee Fisher. Richard Miles Fitzgerald. Robert Pierce Fornshell II. Caroline Ann Foster. Nada Francisco. Christopher Hunter France. Caitlin Ann Friel. Corrine Megan Godori. James Lebec Gagliano II. Daniel Michelle Gannon. Ryan Thomas Gannon. Yuen Guao. Charlotte Louise Garland. Haley Paige Gelbert. Rose Gendelman. Dana Marie Getka. Casey Lee Getkin. Kaylin Shana Ghazi. Gabrielle Kara Giamalva. Annie Elizabeth Girton. Jossie Diop Terry Gittins. Sophie Lee Giuliani. Sarah Kathleen Glass. Ryan Jacob Glick. Jamie H. Getchis. Allegra Gabriella Gold. Erin Ruth Goldberg. Elisa Gopal. Jillian Amanda Gosling. Madeline Elizabeth Gauk. Ruby Jane Gold. John Lee Graybeck. Casey Jane Gray. Elizabeth Mary Gray. Kyle E. Green. Kieran Gruwal. Noah Riaz Grossman. Scott Austin Golbranson. Justin Angel Guzman. Maximilian Lewis Hawes. Lauren Elizabeth Hadley. Eleanor Stillman Hagan. Kotono Hamaguchi. Caldwell Doherty Harden. Reginald Alexander Harris, Jr. Alexandra Martin Hoshhagen. Lauren Francis Hazard. Julian Von Hernandez Webster. Marissa Lee Hettinger. Emily Diane Height. Lilina Hinn. Jack William Hobie. David James Hollingshead. Rebecca Leanne Hoan. Molly McDivitt Horning. Jamie Ellen Horowitz. Michael R. House. Maximilian John Hubauer. Amanda Marie Hunt. Alexander Daniel Hutchins. Grace Uhe Huang. Emma Margaret Irwin. Peyton Margaret Johnson. Nathaniel William Jones. Abby Lee Jordan. Alexander Montgomery Jordan. Emily Catherine Kandarian. Rafe Peter Kaplan. Vidor Shawshank Karoni. Elizabeth Zelnick Kaufman. Grayson Elizabeth Kennedy. Grayson Elizabeth Kennedy. Kathleen Marie Kennedy. Hunter Gregory Kessel. Paige Jimin Kin. In absentia. Andrew Jore Jorleen. Jeff Klabauskas. In absentia. You're Jeff, right? Okay, you're here. Lena Sumiko Kleinberg. David Christensen Klipstein Jr. Evan M. Klugerman. Emily Jean Kenoshi. Madison Elizabeth Conkle. Zachary Michael Krieger. Stephen E. Christman. Caitlin Ann Kurtzel. Jonathan C. Kwan. Jenna Ann Leza. Ike Denman Lanier. Joseph Ryan Lauro. Reed Christopher Leong. Claire Herbert Lesher. Alexandra Brooke Lisi. Amy Singh Liu. Jennifer Rose Lobello. Eleanor Jane Lobrano. John Huffaker Logan Smith. Esmeralda Luna. Jin Ling Luo. Kimball Joseph McKenzie. Maureen Diane McLean. Melissa Lauren McPherson. Thank you. There are a couple left. And I have in absentia. Yes, yes. Emily Lynn Mader. Carson Hawkins Mafries. Sabrina Kate Malagon. Allison Rose Malone. Inez Hernandez Malone. Brian D. Marine. Alexander Jacob Markovitz. Rachel Kathleen Martinez. Megan Jean Martzoff. William Edward Massey. Nathan James Mattis. Jenny Irene Matushak. Landers Elizabeth Mayer. Stephen Wilson Mayer. Nicole Kayla McAleer. Colin Thomas John McCardle. Daniel Patrick McAllister. Samantha Jane McDivitt. Maxwell Allen McDonald. Charles Amen McFarland. Kathleen Julia McGivern. Ellie Elizabeth McLaughlin. Stephen Anthony McTiernan. Margaret Reese McVeigh. William Peter Malchione IV. Levez Tyler Middleton. Megan Elaine Mickelson. Joseph Elliott Milner. Christina Wiley Mills. Andrew James Millsap. Olivia Ann Miloro. Charles Min, in absentia. Naveed Mezerajani. Paul Edward Mitchell III. Caroline Molnar. Brian James Monahan Jr. Joseph K. Monfort. Molly Corrigan Montalvo. Nicholas Guy Montgomery. Sarah Ann Mooney. John Douglas Moore Jr. Laura Sue Moore. Miles Scott Moore. Miladies Brianni Morales. Haley Elizabeth Mullen. Matthew John Myers. Nicholas Alexander Nam. Cyrus S. Namazi. Madison Hope Nar. Andrew Robert Newcomb. Margaret McGaw Nolan. Samantha Nicole Noley. Margaret McGaw Nolan. Carlin Kimball Nolan. Margaret McGaw Nolan. Samantha Nicole Noley. William Spencer Soch North. Stephanie Sienna Occhio Grosso. Alexandra Isabel O'Connell. Sally Mae Olson. Olu Fisayo Tematayo Oluleye. Anita Lynn Ancharan. Austin O'Neill. Robert Matthew O'Reilly. Catherine Wallace Ortlieb. Julia Ariel Oshrin. Emily Ann Ott. Ryan Michael Ott. Andrew Paul Owers. Michaela Christina Papich. Nicholas J. Pare. Deepshika Parmisur. Soham Sai Kandar Patel. Autumn J. Patterson. Xander Emerson Perlman. Danielle Alejandro Perez Becerra. Tyler Cook Peterson. Gabrielle Petruso. Alexander William Petinos. Paige Lauren Phillips. Justin Edward Pinard. Brandon Paul Ponzo. Christian J. Priel. Noah Lang Prince. Daniel John Prochniak. Colin James Randalls. In absentia. Daphne Rani Ratnaraja. John O'Hare Regal. Christina Chandra Reddy. Cooper Matthews Reinhardt. Chance D. Riley. Jamie Marie Risdall. Fiona Frazier Reesum. Dean Joseph Rizzo. Hunter McCain Robichaud. Juliette Rose Rabinowitz. Matthew Grant Robinson. Abigail Elaine Roser. John David Curtis Rogers. Kiara Romatsky. Jake Avery Rubin. Vittoria Abreu Ruozzi. Aletta McCarthy Ryan. Kendall Ann Ryan. Samantha Max Santamartino. Michael Francis Savage III. Sharon Young Schmetzel in absentia. Joseph Thomas Schreiner. Troy Rothschild Schwab. Dominique Chicatano. Danielle Marie Scalfani. Chelsea Ann Sculderi. Nathan Michael Sistina. Julia Shapiro. Janine Francis Shea. Blake Hamilton Sherwin. Richard Shin.
That was fun.
You're halfway through mine.
Okay.
Hannah Lynn Sixayano. Carl Brian Silverstein. Rachel Louise Skelton. Caitlin Marie Slagus. Janelle Shantae Slowly. Lindsay Smolik. Grant Robert Smith. Heather Jane Smith. Quinn William Smith. Remy Allen Smith. Thomas Hampton Smith. Jonas Cozen Snyder. Julie Michelle Spearer. Mallory Lauren Steffi. Benjamin L. Steinberger. Haley Rose Stoddard. Andrew Christian Stonington. Peter Gerard Strom. Tyler C. Strobel. Samantha Carly Sturkin. Sarah Jordan Solkowski. Caroline Rossi Sullivan. Alexander Matthew Suss. Bryce Frederick Sidnor. Alec J. Talurokio. Nicholas Thomas Talbot. Shea Asia Medina Taylor. Carolyn Dorothy Tella. Olivia Harvey Thayer. Langley James Terrian. Anastasia Lori Thibodeau. Margaret Ann Thompson. Perry Tolley. Catherine Elizabeth Tomasi. Christina Jane Tower. Juliana Ashley Treen. David Bowen Trueluck Jr. Margaret Waters Tucker. Casey Elizabeth Toomey. Grevelyn Ulerio. Nicole Elizabeth Vacas. Jillian Adeline Collins Vicari. Jose Rafael Valera. Andrew Verilli. Andrew Hall Vetterline. Mara Karen Vinnick. Andre Viteku. Justin Anthony Volpe. Gunnar Chauncey Vorwerk. Emma Marguerite Wagner. John Franklin Wagner. Catherine Angela Walker. Eric James Wallerstein. Jenna Walpole. Audrey Rose Walsh. Marlee Faye Warwick. Madison Lene Weaver. Elise Christine Weiland. Sasha Ann Weilbaker. Mary Angelique Weinstein. Margaret H. Westrom. Virginia Ann Whelan. Christopher Brian Y. Clark Reed Widows. Anya Yamani Williams. Patricia Nashe Williams. Aaron Anthony Wilson. Abigail Grace Winter. Alexander Jordan Wiseman. Jarrett Ryan Wetzel. Sarah Marie Walkley. Barkay Page Wallstetter. Charles Yang. Sulin Yang, in absentia. Anshi Ye. Lucas Yeshitla. Nicholas John Zarkowski. Jacqueline Xiao Yen Zebekian. Min Zhang. Alexis D. Ziur. Marjorie Madeline Zook. For the degree Bachelor of Science, Catherine Logan Alden. Camille Sears Andrews. Lindsay K. Baker. Matthew Jacob Barton. Jacqueline Bischoff. Eben Michael Blaisdell. Benjamin Roger Bliss. Borna Bolancha. Giselle Vanessa Botero Rodriguez. Colleen Megan Buckley. Jamie Rose Europe Carty. Zikun Chen. Emily June Clay. Riley Alexandra Coopersmith. Avery Lynn Cox. Melly Ann Denham. Aubrey Grant Dion. Bryce Von Dubin. Catherine May Edwards. Matthew Joseph Elander. Marie Claire Longer Evans. Shaylin P. Fahey. Jenna Lee Farmer. Laura Hillary Fader. Daniel Miles Fishbach. Brian Joseph Friends. Xinjing Gao. Cole Thomas Gardner. Healne Gasusu. Anne Kate Gimestad. Tatiana Gongora. Nora Yasser Guda. Lauren Marie Gross. Quinn Avery Grossman. Rachel Joan Gwen.
I said I don't really want to step on it. Not at least until I'm done shooting, then I can step on it.
I understand.
Quinn Avery Grossman. Rachel Joan Gwen. Scott Joseph Gulizio. Madison Ann Hackley. Terry Jean Hall Jr. Mackenzie Lynn Haney. Matthew Scott Harmon. Stephanie Rose Harper. Abby Elizabeth Joseph. Yubi Shin Kim. Grace Kim. James Chung Hun Kim. Kayleen A. Kirkwood. Liam Campbell Collar. Sophie Kong. Justin Alexander Koss. Brianna Marie Kramer. Caroline Elizabeth Kunkel. Jeremy Chi-Ho Kwan. Michaela Beatrice Longerman. Nathan Robert Thor Lesnovich. Chen Jun Lee. Sarah Ann Lomble. Jenna Nicole Longo. William Michael Lovejoy. William Gavin Luzier. Zelene Ma. Jeffrey Scott Mandrell. In absentia. Katie Lynn Manino. Ryan Nicholas Martinez. Michaela Corinne Miniconi. Rubelitz Murchison. Phuong Net Huang Nguyen. Nicole Phuong Net Huang Nguyen. Nicole Marie Nisovakia. Lauren Faith Connor. Christopher Othheimer. Christine Marie O'Kane. Rafael A. Orozco. Melissa Nicole Orr, in absentia. Timothy Michael Park. Morgan Jenny Price. Cameron McDonald Quirk. Sarah Ann Riesbeck. Spencer Charles Reed. Chelsea Lee Reynolds. Hannah Elizabeth Rickardson. Ryan Catherine Rokos. Renee Marie Rulo. Nicole Elizabeth Rupnick. Elisa Hunter Salet. Francesco Paolo Satriali. Madeline Sullivan Senich. Kyle Aaron Stern. Carolyn Noreen Sadati. Elise Way Siegfried. Joseph John Simons IV. Dominique Elizabeth Smith. Nicholas George Spiropoulos. Madeline Phillips Standen. Megan Yukiko Summers. Chad Benjamin Sussman. Christina Gina Marie Sweeney. Stephanie Maria Taylor. Emily Grace Tiviba. Catherine Marie Townsend. Ksenia Suktoyeva. Ian Robert Vogel. Ai-Chu Wong. William Curtis Weaver, in absentia. Jill Ann Weiss. Augustina Wayman. Sydney Marie Worrell. Wei Jen Shu. Sophia Yan. Helena Gilbert Yost. Regina M. Younger. Alexandra Kinney Zerka. Bachelor of Science in Education, Julie Marie Byrne. Catherine Ann Elkin. Jessica Michelle Eister. Cherry Huang. Sarah Catherine Jouts. Kelly Margaret McCary. Rachel Lee Pacello. Emily Jane Shapiro. Tabitha Ann Wismer. For the Bachelor of Music, Natalie Claire Annabal. Justina Dorothy Bernard. Deanna E. Gadalius. The following candidates who completed graduation requirements and who were awarded degrees in January were invited to be present for recognition today. We are pleased that those whose names are read accepted this invitation. Emily Clement Detour. Matthew James Dutton. James Bradford Elmendorf. Maggie Herrick Fisher. Beatrice Carmela Giordano. Hannah Elizabeth Lejoy. Emily Rose McCarthy. Jessica Mary Quinlan. Aiden Samuel Rodriguez. Jasmine Kiana Spinelli. For the Bachelor of Science, Zachary Martin Brill. Megan Ann Chikalski. Sabrina Magdalena Linsky. Kenneth Jesse Lopez. Manya Saraswat.
Mr. President, it is a distinct honor to introduce the 2019 graduating class of the College of Engineering, 155 in number. Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Engineering, Megan Jean Barpoulis. Stephen Ryan Bolger. Brielle Helen Sensi. Catherine Ann Childers. Emily Rose Gabrielle. Owen Michael Klinger. Bradford Thomas Landry. Samantha Nicole Loriola. Brianna Lee Lapour. Duncan Michael Ragland. Garrett Robert Ricart. Harper Elizabeth Stewart. Shabano Hussein Tujo. Benjamin James Twig. Casey Aaron Wilson. Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering, Mitchell William Bucklow. David Choi. Jordan Kaylee Collins. Maxine Aline Cook. Andre Luke Demong. Danielle N. Dugan. Thaddeus Michael Ignagzik. Megan Rebecca Grossman. Wade Everett Heidel. Claire Lee Wood Helmers. Nicholas John Garber Huang. Owen Everton Keneally. Laura Alicia Kolstad. Evelyn M. Corbich. Jae Young Lee. Brian Alexander Molina. Brandon David Moore. Elizabeth Fern Morrison. Lara Nunn. Joyce Obing. Anthony Alexander Ramos. Robert William Ryerson. David Lee Spear. Sarah Elizabeth Stroup. Mackenzie Rose Todd. Mitchell Albert Weber. Tyler Allen Will. Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, Gianna D. Urata. Christian Raphael Basilino. Stephanie Ann Boyd. Bo Thomas Burley. Jonathan Dexter Darrow. Rachel Alexandra Domiak. Matthew James Geiger. Christopher William Gord. William Hunter Hathaway. Lauren Nicole Helveston. Xingyu Lai. In absentia, Brianna Jasmine Lewis. Ming Ma. Ryan Patrick McSherry. Anthony Daniel Nikich. Nolan Patrick O'Shea. Megan Elizabeth Pace. Jacob Peter Pearl. Shelby Ann Roberts. Lane Elizabeth Rutland. Nicholas Ryan Sia. Nicholas Ryan Stephanie. Brianna Silvana Tatuska. Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering and Bachelor of Arts, Nancy Ngabire Obayo. Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering and Bachelor of Management, Zachary Thomas Lamb. Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering, Alexander Anthony Alves. Bi-Chong Chen. Abdul Mateen Qureshi. Eliza Daly Romine. Zheng Tian. Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering and Bachelor of Management, Alexander Paris Blachicek. Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Engineering, Christina Arjun Caruso. Joseph Tyler DiPartolo. Joseph Richard De Palma. Xing Fu. Gabriel Alexis Gomez. Andrew Yates Gray. Jingche Zheng. Daniel T. Kirshner. Benjamin C.B. Langley. Michael John Robert Maturko. Annan Miao. Yash Mitowel. Malachi Music. Ryan Eric Pascalano. Matthew D.R. Raggi. David Mark Schwartz. Jordan Lee Seckler. Karin Emily Smith. Haipu Sun. Gary Paul Tse. John D. Venditti. Howie Chung. Dylan Joseph Zucker. Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Engineering and Bachelor of Arts, Matt M. O'Donnell. Anushika Sharma. Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Engineering and Bachelor of Management, Catherine Taylor Lordy. Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Eliza Jane Augusta. Tito Lepe Abisola Awa. Ranish Benjankar. Minchi Chen. Leah Faith Chowenhill. Marissa Ann Deal. Christian Frederick Fox. Keith David Hubel. Yu Ching Chi. Dekendra Jung Karki. Win Jaw. Kelly Nam. Daniel James Schmidt. Garrett Christ Strunk. Prince Siwe Chokwani. Osman I. Vera. Kinfen Yong. Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering and Bachelor of Arts, Nagesh Prujapati. Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering and Bachelor of Management, Isabel Eleanor Taylor. Bachelor of Science in Environmental Engineering, Andrew James Alverman. Alyssa Brooke Dedrickson. Melissa Ray Norley. Catherine J. Pendlebury. Dalton William Stewart. Roman Patrick Tavakol. Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, Aditya S. Acharyo. Matthew Francis Armo. James Erminio Capone. Jonathan Michael Chambers. Roland Virgil Crystal. Cameron Eddie Dennis. Jose Carlos Fairley. Patrick Anthony Finn. Patrick Dylan Foley. Colleen Mary Hanisco. Brian William Kirshner. Ukon Kwan. Michael Abraham Macklin. Kevin Richard McFadden. Kyle Thomas Douglas McWalters. Nathan Paul Ortiz. Owen Samuel Parent. Richard C. Peterson. Stephanie Joyce Salinger. Lauren Maritza Rose Sanchez. Kevin McCartney Smith. Nicholas Araldo Suarez. Mitchell Kyle Stauffer. Trey Nathan Tanner. Adam Israel Workinaw. Margot E. Yancey. Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering and Bachelor of Arts, Alan Gregory Taylor. Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering and Bachelor of Management, Sebastian Enrique Aboites. Thomas Parker Bielik. Daniel Robert Rogas. Connor E. Zierden.
Mr. President, it is my great pleasure to present to you 144 recipients of the degree of the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from the finest graduating class of the Freeman College of Management. Abian Abdullahi. Juan Carlos Alonso. Kwaku Abora Ampansa. Jacopo Enrico Baldi. Cole Baxter Bement. Francesca Gianna Benedetto. Alexandra Nicole Bernhard. Brittany Ann Bishop. Marlene Evelyn Liza. Seth R. Bodos. Eli Johnson Bravo. Jill Britton. Trang Kim Bowie. William Jack Callahan. Jack William Callahan, sorry. Caroline Louise Carulis. Henry Stiles Charman. Anna Namaria Chiado Ortiz. Kelly Michelle Clark. Marianne Click. Hunter Zachary Colby. Anna Rose Collette. Harrison Lippincott Colville. Matthew Robert Comolo. Sabrina O'Neill Congo. Tobias Michael Casalino. Chad Matthew Cummins. Madison Amanda Dono. Landon McNeil Delaney. Julia Rita De La Pera. Caroline Lee DeWitt. John Ryan Durkin. Claire Huntington Elfers. Christopher James Isernio. Ethan Wynn Fisher. Megan Elizabeth Fournier. Garrett Lucas Gabbianelli. Thomas Richard Gannon. Lindsay Chase Garfinkel. Charles Graham Gearhart. Julia I.G. Graham Wesley Gilliam. Jeffrey Thomas Gottesman. Kenneth Allen Griffin Jr. Aaron Nicole Hahn. William Joseph Harris. Anna Elizabeth Hart. John Lewis Hartman IV. Allison Nagel Heel. Lucy Carol Herring. Colin James Hickey. Devin Marie Holland. Jennifer Taylor Howland. Michael Paul Hume. Adam Stephen Inbar. Paulina E. Johansson. Ariel Leah Kaplan. Ria Cara. Francis Michael Kinnery III. Ridgway Brewster Knight IV. Trevor Nelson Coons. Douglas Blakely Lockenauer. Brian Andrew Lapham. Amanda Jo Lazawicki. John Kenneth McKenna Leisure. Mary Barbara Lennox. Zoe Rose Lashinsky. Alexander Storm Libman. Matthew X. Luther. Caitlin Mary Mahoney. Ya Mai. Reed Lawrence Malas. Jake Peter Malofsky. Tara Brienne Malloy. Christopher Hall Malone. Lauren Ellen Mastaloni. Sophia C. Mavelia. Simone Ambrosia McLaren. Sierra Marie Meggett. Jacqueline Spiker Messina. Noah Robert Mulk. John Jock Marcos. Congratulations. Jason Ganfi Moy. Michael Ellis Mooson. Kevin McGee Mulhern. Sydney Hannah Knapp. Madeline Jane Nickel. Connor Bailey O'Brien. Samantha M. Osagara. Richard Alexander Owen. Pakawat Thomas Pomorsud. Lindsay Caroline Penchuso. Chloe Yunhei Park. Ashley Samantha Pena. Matthew Ford Ferraconi. Daniel Edgardo Portillo. Parker Monroe Pridgeon. Carol Jessica Chow. Alexis Grace Quick. Ashton Frederick Collins Radvansky. John Patrick Rafferty. Gregory Thomas Riley. Spencer Paul Reno. Lauren Elizabeth Repke. Robert Bradley Rhodes. Rebecca Luchan Richardson. Hallie Michelle Richmond. Talia Warner Rockmore. Abigail Susan Rosenberg. Adam Arturo Rueda. And David Andrew Ruff II. Lynette T. Santakumar. Matthew T. Savaresi. Sanford Joel Shanker. Alexander Nicholas Schreier. Kayla Elizabeth Scully. Ilana Rachel Schechtman. Haley Ray Sheridan. Anna Valentine Shipman. Amanda Gabrielle Stefura. Dakota Harrison Stein. Connor Kennedy Swaim. Christian Spencer Taylor. Eileen Christy Tan. Jan Tien in absentia. John Bennett Turner III. Kabir Udin. Tammy Vong. Terry Z. Wong. Iwei Wong. Mitchell Patrick Warner. Natalie Jean Waterhouse. Matthew Thomas Waddles. Boa Wen. Catherine H. Westrom. Trevor James White. Kyle Robert Woods. Rachel Rebecca Zajac. The following candidates who completed graduation requirement and who were awarded degrees in January were invited to be present for recognition today. We are pleased that those whose names are read accepted this invitation. For Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, Martin Davalos, in absentia. Jeffrey Dong, in absentia. Suo Wen Liu, in absentia. Ellen Wanran Wei, in absentia.
Are we all ready? Good. Mr. President, I have the pleasure of presenting candidates for the master's degrees from the Graduate Studies program. The candidates who completed requirements in the past year for the various degrees and whose names are read are present for recognition today. For the degree Master of Arts, Jason Anthony Kluss. For the degree Master of Science, Emma Hundemark. Rose A. Saville-Ixick. For the degree Master of Science in Education, Yingqing Lindsay Pan. Lisandra de la Luz Suarez Perez. For the degree Master of Science in Chemical Engineering, William Walker. For the degree Master of Science in Electrical Engineering, Farouk Musal Gessa. For the degree Master of Science in Civil Engineering, Landon Barlow. For the degree Master of Science in Education, Brady T. Galise. Please join me in congratulating these excellent recipients of degrees from the Graduate Studies program.
Okay, now that we've had the introduction to today's ceremony, we can get to the real heart of the matter. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2019. It's now my pleasure to introduce your class speaker, Jonathan Chief Coleman. During his 4 years at Bucknell, Chief took every dare and seized every opportunity that came his way. He is a Posse Scholar. He was a member of the men's water polo team. He studied abroad. He was a Buckwild leader and a mentor to countless other students. His love of Bucknell may well have influenced others to attend our great university through his experience as an admissions tour guide during his time on campus. Anyone and everyone who knows Chief would be hard-pressed to think of a better ambassador for this institution. I'll let Chief share the story of his academic journey. Suffice it to say, some unexpected doors have been opened for this young man by way of Bucknell. But I will share something Chief said during his sophomore year, which summarizes so much. He said, "My grandfather always told me to be the change I want to see in the world. When I saw there were ways I could contribute to Bucknell's culture, I felt the need to be involved to make sure that all students feel welcome at Bucknell." Mission accomplished. Please welcome Chief Coleman. Thank you, John. Thank you. What you've done for this university. Thank you. Fantastic. Thank you.
To the men, women, and non-binary members of the audience, allow me to introduce myself. I am Jonathan Coleman, but please feel free to call me Chief. I'm a philosophy and political science double major. And if any of you parents are wondering what I'm going to do with that degree, I'm going to law school, don't worry. And today, I will ask you to imagine. Before I do so, I want to recognize our family, friends, and support systems in the audience. Thank you for helping us achieve beyond what we ourselves sometimes could envision. I also want to acknowledge the elephant in the room. I had the distinct pleasure of losing my voice on perhaps the most important day of my life. But I have never been afraid of a challenge, and I am not afraid right now, so let's go. To Bucknell's graduating class of 2019, today we received our diplomas and we'll begin the next chapter of our lives. For some, that may mean starting a career, engaging in a fellowship, attending graduate school, and some may not yet know what the next chapter of your story will lead you. And that's okay. We have so much more of our lives ahead of us. As I reflect upon my own Bucknell experience, I am reminded how much I have learned in the past 4 years. Because as President Brofman said early on in the program, I never knew what I did not know. Our experiences learning together have influenced all of our outlooks on life. In the class, we were taught to challenge the status quo. On the court, in the pool, and whilst playing on the field, we learned to trust others and push ourselves. Abroad, we learned of different cultures and began to challenge our own world narrative. We did all of this while simultaneously learning just how much orange we could fit in our wardrobe. Ray Bucknell. For most of us, next year probably means growing up and hopefully wearing a bit less orange. So let's embrace our inner child for a moment while we still have access to it, and let us imagine. In fact, let us imagine what we will know tomorrow. I take this phrase from the movie Men in Black, where Tommy Lee Jones' character tells Will Smith, 500 years ago, everyone knew that the earth was flat, and 15 minutes ago, you knew we were alone on this planet. Imagine what we will know tomorrow. I do believe he has a point when he asks us to go beyond what we currently know now. Let's try it out in our own college experiences. Please raise your hand if you came to college with an intended major. Yes, feel free to participate. Put your hand down if you changed your major. For those of you with your hands still up, put your hand down if what you believed what you would do with that major changed. Did any experiences change your opinion of something that you had held as a fact? Put your hand down. Look around at how many people have expanded their knowledge. Think to yourselves, what courses, internships, and life experiences have acted as a catalyst of change. Go ahead and think. You're dealing with a philosophy major here. I myself experienced this change. I came to Bucknell as an intended international relations major, never envisioning a shift to philosophy, and in fact, my mom couldn't either. When I called to tell her I was becoming a philosophy major, her response to me was, "No, you're not." But once I told her I was set on it, she became extremely supportive. And there's no way I'd be standing in front of you without her guidance and strength. And I really mean that. For it was until 8th grade that I had a terrible speech impediment that left me embarrassed to speak in front of large groups of crowds such as yourselves, and even amongst my peers. It was through her support that I am able to be speaking in front of you all today, pushing myself further than I could have imagined merely years ago. These distinct moments of transformation allow us the ability to go beyond our previous experience and become change manifested. We just walked across this stage. We grabbed our diplomas. They actually gave it to us and shook some hands, signifying the end of our 4 years here at Bucknell. Yet the learning does not stop here, and nor does the imagination. The world is quickly changing, and through our Bucknell education, we now have the tools to adapt to that fast-paced world. However, merely adapting is not enough. I'm going to ask you to think once more. Please close your eyes this time. Imagine the world you wish to live in. What does it look like? What sort of people are there? Shoot, what does it smell like? As you begin to envision that world, I invite you to open your eyes again. For years, our elders have reported that we are the future of this great nation, but in fact, we are the now. Bucknellians, I challenge you to go forward and innovate. When the days seem long and hard, when the weeks do not go away, think about the difference 4 years have made and continue to persevere. Leave no stone unturned and let your imagination become your reality. Congratulations, class of 2019. I cannot wait to see the world we create. Thank you.
A round of applause for Jonathan Chief's mother. Graduates, you are Bucknellians for a lifetime, and you leave today carrying on a tradition of excellence. As alumni, you can ensure by your continued involvement with Bucknell that those who come after you will have the same kind of positive and transformative experiences here that you have enjoyed. Above all, please remember to be students forever. I urge you to continue to be mindful of the world around you. Stay curious. Ask questions, seek out those with different views, and have the courage to start the kind of conversations that lead to meaningful, positive, and enduring change. And to echo Jonathan, leave no stone unturned. Let your imagination become your new reality. Go forward with confidence. You are Bucknellians now and forevermore. We congratulate you and wish you the very best. And now, I invite everyone who is able to rise for the singing of the alma mater.
Dear Bucknell, oft of thee we're thinking, and memories fond come trooping by. The tireless stars may cease their blinking, but thoughts of thee shall never die. And though the years still swiftly o'er us, and winter comes with biting sting, our hearts with youth's undaunted chorus shall e'er with praise of Bucknell ring.
too. It's short. Sorry, guys. Just once.